So what's the talk of the trading floors in Europe and Asia this week? Victoria Scholar is the head of investment at Interactive Investor. Great to see you, Victoria. Look, I want to start in Europe. A busy week of central bank decisions and earnings ahead. What's piqued your interest?
Yeah, a lot of earnings out this week. We heard from Ryanair today. It reported better profits and revenues, partly thanks to higher airfares and also the timing of Easter, and lots more earnings to look out for in the week ahead. But it's the first day of trade of the month, so that really sets the tone for how November and the rest of the year could play out. And of course, we know that stemming from the US but rippling across Europe and Asia has been concerned about overvaluations in the tech space, particularly from AI. We know that the Nasdaq has had this massive bull run, and that's been bullish for the whole of US equities. Just today, we saw this big deal between Amazon and OpenAI that's continued to lift risk appetite. I think investors have also been paying attention to these PMI readings. We had China's manufacturing reading that was a bit disappointing, but then we had some strong figures on the same print out of Spain.
You mentioned the PMI data that's come out. I mean, could that shift the needle on Threadneedle Street when the Bank of England makes their decision on interest rates on Thursday?
I don't think so. I think really it's going to be looking at inflation, which so far has come in a bit better than expected in the most recent reading. Unemployment also has ticked up, so there's a bit more slack in the labour market. So there are reasons for the Bank of England to cut interest rates, but the big unknown really is the budget at the end of the month. So we know that the Chancellor is going to lay out her plans for taxation and spending, and those fiscal plans could have an impact on inflation. So it's most likely that the central bank will hold off from changing interest rates and keep that base rate at 4%. But there is a chance that the central bank could vote for that 25 basis point cut. It looks like it's going to be a pretty tight vote, and we know that analysts at Goldman Sachs are actually expecting a cut. So lots of attention is going to be on that decision on Thursday at lunchtime.
Certainly is. Let's move over to Asia. China trade data is going to be released later in the week. Well, what's the export story likely to be there?
Well, obviously the big story when it comes to China's trade data this year is the pain suffered from Trump's America First shift away from globalization towards protectionism and the damage that that has caused, especially for China, which is an economy entirely fueled by cheap exports around the world. But we saw that last month China's exports actually came in a bit stronger than expected, and that was partly thanks to strength outside of the US. And also there was a bounce back because Beijing has been diversifying beyond the US borders. And we know that some Chinese businesses have actually been trying to get round the tariffs. They've been rerouting their exports to Southeast Asia before they get to the United States, so countries like Indonesia and Vietnam. And the fact that we have seen this thawing in relations lately between the two countries with this emergence of the trade deal, it's not going to show up in this month's data, but perhaps it could start to see that export and import data improve in the months ahead.
Thanks, Victoria. Always great to talk to you. Victoria Scholar from Interactive Investors.